So welcome to this meeting. It's about the holistic spiritual training, and behind the background are my teachers, and I will explain about that very soon. And also I will explain about what we will do, and we will see what else. So I've decided after many years to do the holistic spiritual training in English, so people that don't speak Greek and people from other countries to be able to join. Many years ago, about 20 years ago, when I started my training in Anandhi ashram, my teacher says behind, this woman there is my teacher. She is the one who teach me everything I know. Behind here is her son, and the guy with the beard is his husband, her husband, who is he's Swami Gitananda, and he is the guru of the tradition. All the others are the gurus before Swami Gitananda, before my teacher and his wife. This tradition is going back to thousands of years ago. Of course, these gurus are a few hundred years behind, and generally speaking, yoga has different traditions where it's the same, but they use different techniques, and the theory is the same, but the techniques might differ. And we follow this tradition that Swami Gitananda called it RishiCulture Astanga Yoga. Talking about Ashtanga Yoga has nothing to do with this powerful yoga, physical yoga that is recently. Ashtanga means 8, and is the path that has 8 steps. Yes, 8 steps, starting from life practices, which we call yama and niyama, then starts with physical practices, asana, breathing techniques, or even better, directing our energy, building and directing energy, which is pranayama, pratyahara, which is to detach ourselves from the senses and whatever happens to us, pratyahara, dharana, concentration, dhyana, meditation, and samadhi, the connection with the source. This is the 8 steps. These are the 8 steps. And the tradition we follow is following these 8 steps. The classical yoga has these 8 steps, and this tradition we follow has these steps. The first year of the holistic spiritual training, the one that we do now, is practicing the life practices, the yama and niyama, and the asana, the physical exercises, and the pranayama, the generation and direction of the prana. And why? Because the first step on changing ourselves or getting better in physical, emotional, and mental level is to learn how to generate energy, prana, vitality, and direct it. This is the secret of life, the secret of yoga, and the secret of personal and spiritual development, to be able to know and to generate and direct our energy, our vitality. Without this, it's like you want to do a business and you have no money. The money is what you make you work in a business. If you have no money, there is no business. The same thing. You might want to develop yourself. You might want to get rid of your depression, or you want to do projects or everything. If you have no vitality, nothing happens. We do nothing without vitality. And so the first step in our development would be to learn about this vitality and be able to direct it. And this happens with the asana with the physical postures and the pranayama. The physical postures, I leave it to another session. We do morning classes for that. And now the pranayama techniques, which use the breath to direct and generate energy. And the concentration techniques, we do them in the Wholistic Spiritual training. My personal trip in spirituality and life started like that. I met my teacher, I met Amaji, my teacher, this lady there, and she taught me everything I know. And then I came back to Cyprus after I was for 6 months in India and started teaching and realizing that whatever I've learned and teaching it and practicing it myself made me feel better emotionally, made me have inspirations, good inspirations, made me get over any addictions or bad habits that I had. And I started exploring and thinking, why did this happen? How? Like the postures helped me, like the pranayama helped me. What was that helped me becoming better? And I realized that the thing that made me becoming better was this generation of prana, of energy, that helped me use more of my brain than that usually people use, and especially the frontal brain. And I remember my teacher telling me that the frontal brain needs huge amounts of prana, huge amounts of vitality. And if we don't have this amount of prana, then this part of the brain is switched off because it's not necessary for survival. So if something is not necessary for survival, it switches off. Is use it or lose it. So in order to wake up the higher qualities that make us human beings, we need prana, we need vitality. And there are many ways to generate prana. You can go for a walk to nature. This is a classical, very good way to generate prana. And that's why after you go for a walk to the forest, to the beach, and you come in contact with the elements, you feel, you feel awake, you feel good. But this has to happen regularly. You cannot just, I know my sister who is, we have similar character, a similar childhood, and she doesn't do any yoga, nothing, no meditation, nothing. But she wakes up every morning and she goes to the beach and she swims, even in the winter. And she has prana, you can see her, she is developing herself in using a different path by swimming every day, but she swims every day. She doesn't say, okay, once a week. Once a week is not enough. So we need to find a way to generate prana, to build energy for ourselves every day. Regularity is the key. So we said one thing now, being in contact with nature. Other things can be like good communication with people that they respect us, we respect them, they love us, we love them, and we communicate in harmony. This is another way to generate prana. But again, this has happened regularly, not every now and then. Offering unconditionally to people also, it's a beautiful way to generate prana. So there are many ways to generate prana. We can sit and talk about it for a very long time, but we choose yoga. We choose specific techniques that build energy and direct energy, and I call it meditating breathing. Meditative breathing. So we breathe and we visualize at the same time. We do it in the Hatha Yoga at the end. we visualize and we breathe. And in this way, not only we generate prana easier than just breathing unconsciously, but also direct the prana in specific places in our body or in our brain. And in this way, we help ourselves to have more prana, more energy, more vitality, and wake up the frontal brain. And when the frontal brain is waking up, then the divine instincts, I call it the divine instincts, the higher qualities, wake up. And you are thinking, oh, but I wasn't like that, and now I am like that. Yes, because the frontal brain has different qualities than the other parts of the brain. We have the reptilian brain, which is responsible for our survival, and we need it. The back of the brain, the oldest part of the brain, here at the back, which is responsible for us to breathe. We need to breathe in and out 24 hours per day. And to all the instincts of survival are there. We need it. Then we have the emotional brain, the mammal brain, the emotions here at the sides, where are responsible for our language, for our communication, for our emotions, communicating our emotions and our thoughts. Art, which is very useful as well. And then we have the frontal brain, which is the newest part of our brain, where it needs a lot of energy to be active, and it's all the qualities, the higher qualities are there: love, gratitude, intuition, the ability to experience the higher consciousness we are coming from. This cannot be touched if we have this part of our brain switched off. The ability to experience God, we say God, it's the higher intelligence that we are coming from. And this, we cannot talk with people and talk about it if their frontal brain is switched off. And when the frontal brain is switched off, when there is not enough prana, and when there is not enough prana, when all the prana is spent on survival and emotions, communication, survival and emotions. So we need to invest some of our energy to something else than survival and emotions. And this is what we will learn. And the system is there. I do nothing, actually. The system is there. And Swami Gitananda made a beautiful course, which is called Yoga Step by Step. And all our practices and the theory is coming from this. The Yoga Step by Step is taught by my teacher, Dr. Anandhi, his son there, who is a medical doctor and also yoga therapist and so many other things, a musician. He is amazing. He's doing so many things. He is teaching the original Yoga Step by Step course. And some of us, a few of us from all over the world, have the permission from him to also teach the Yoga Step by Step. So I started teaching the Yoga Step by Step about 12 years ago. And then what happened was that two of my students decided to go and do the teacher training course after finishing the Yoga Step by Step in a year. And we did the Yoga Step by Step course in a year, and then they went to do the course, the teacher training course in India. And I went for a month to teach them, as I used to do that every year. I was going and help my teacher to teach the teacher training course. And I went there, And I realized that my two students were excellent students, very nice. They were very well trained, but they wouldn't remember anything of this course. It's like they will listen to everything like first time. And the practices also, they wouldn't remember them. And they wouldn't remember what the practices did to them. And I was surprised because they did the course and they were very good. And I asked them, I said, what's happening? And they said, I remember nothing. Both of them, they said, I don't remember. I don't remember the course. And I was like really disappointed with myself because it's like I trained them for a year. And I sit down and think about it. We talk about it with my students. And we realized that it was too much information. And the brain rejected. Like you give information, they take it in, they understand it. But then another information comes very soon and they take it again. And then another information comes, another practice, another information. And the brain is not able to hold all this information. So after this experience, I stopped teaching the yoga step by step. I wrote to my teacher and I said, I made a booklet with a new way to teach it, which is 1/3 of the course. So the first 2 years, we teach the yoga step by step in 2 years. But all the practices of the yoga step by step is on the first year. All the practices. So because I managed to fit them very well in and do them all. In this way, my teacher accepted the course that to give the certificate of the yoga step by step, which is considered an advanced course in yoga. Even my variation of the course, again, we can take the certificate from India. And I find that this way, all the information is easier to digest and easier to practice. And not only the practices, the pranayama practices, but also the practices in life. Because the yoga step by step has many, many practices in life, which it's very difficult to practice if you just, take the information and go. So we have creative writing reports, small reports for those who feel comfortable to do it. I never forced anyone to write me report. And your thoughts, to write your thoughts. So we will see how you digest the theory and how you can apply it to your life. Of course, not all the theories will fit you. Some of the yoga theories, the philosophy, will not fit you. And it's absolutely okay. It's not necessary. Some of the theories, so I accept reports that say, I don't like this and I will never do it. I have people who said, I find it very difficult to practice this in my life and I don't like it, I do not agree, and I don't want to do it. And this is absolutely fine. The program is, it is 11 months from December to December with break in August. We also have in July, in July and in September, a 6-day training where we can stay together, live together, and cook together, eat together, wake up and practice more intensely for 3 days or for 6 days. You can choose. And this is, again, you don't have to do it. It's just an opportunity to meet and practice together in Cyprus. The past few years, I do this to different places. But this year, I hope our own place will be ready because I already bought a piece of land and I start making it. So if it's ready, then we can meet there. Otherwise, we'll meet to another place and do the training. I don't say retreat because it's not a retreat. It's not a retreat. We just work hard to practice learn and to experience yoga in a different way. Before that, so we start in January, and we have a list of theories and their practices. That again, it's from the yoga step by step. The first subject will be prana, the vitality. So what I said today, we will analyze it and we will learn it into practice, and we will learn ways to generate prana, and we will practice specific pranayamas to generate prana, and we'll experience it, and we write about it, we talk about it, we practice it, and everything. So everything that has to do with generating and directing our energy and experiencing it. Because most probably some of us never heard about prana and vitality. They think that this is something that exists anyway. It exists anyway, but prana is in every person is as much to survive, not to die. Okay? We want more. We want more than having enough prana not to die. We want enough prana to maybe able to think, to get over the stress, to get over the worries, to get over the blurring mind, to make the right decisions. In order to make the right decisions, you need prana. To digest our food properly, you need prana. To help the immune system, you need prana. To be able to get over what is happening to you, you need prana. Everything needs prana. And we will learn how to experience it, how to generate it, and how to direct it. When we do the prana, we will also talk about the yogic diet and the activated food, because it's very much connected, what we eat and how we support our prana, our energy. Then we will go to experience that we have 5 levels of existence: the physical, the emotional, the mental, the higher mental, and the spiritual, the panchakosha, the 5 layers of our existence. And we'll again talk about it, experience it, and practice specific techniques that help us align this, bring them together, make them work together. Because now in most people, they don't work together. They work different. Emotions somewhere else, thoughts somewhere else, body somewhere else, and then spiritual and higher mind waiting for us to align ourselves so we can work all together. 5 bodies, 5 levels of existence. So we learn to separate them, to bring them together and align them again with pranayama, of course, with pranayama and with experiencing it and talking about it. Then we'll go to yama and niyama, which is a very, very important part of our training, to learn the codes, the practices in life that will help us not to waste energy and to generate energy, not to build karma and to burn karma. And this is yama niyama. Yama niyama is 5 codes, yama 5 codes, niyama another 5 codes that help us live in the proper way. If we had enough energy to wake up the frontal brain, we wouldn't need to talk about it. We will practice it automatically. But because we don't know, this is switched off, we need to talk about it first and then try to practice it. Because this is conscience. Conscience is sinidisi. Conscience. 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 This little voice, yes, this little voice that tells you what's right and wrong is in everyone's. But again, it needs a lot of energy to be awake. So yama niyama is this, conscience. It is helping us to find out what is right and what is wrong without needing a priest to tell us, a teacher to tell us, our parents to tell us. Because just to feel, because sometimes it's bad to steal and sometimes it's not bad. Sometimes you have to steal. You never know. So there is no rule for anything. We need to wake up this little voice inside us that tells us what is right and wrong, the specific time, at the specific place, with the specific people. Okay? And this is yama niyama. And then the next, and remember, there will be practices to support this theory every time. Then we'll talk about the ego, and we'll separate the ego from what we are. This is a very big chapter in our training, to separate ourselves from our ego. And it's the art of separation, I call. And again, there are practices for that. Then we talk about karma, and we try to understand it, which is very difficult in our culture because nobody talked to us about karma, and we think it's something superficial. It's the law of humanity. It's not something that exists only in India or in Buddhism. It's the law, it's the mathematics of the universe, actually. So we learn about it and try to experience it. And then we learn about the duality in life, the polarity. And last, this time of the year, next year, we will learn about all the types of yoga and what will be suitable for us. Because yoga, it's one, but it has many branches. One branch is the hatha yoga, that people think this is yoga. One branch is do just the physical exercises, but this is just one very small part of yoga. So we'll separate yoga into different parts, and we'll see which is the best for us to practice. Okay? Right now, for example, we do jnana yoga, the yoga of theory. The yoga of theory. This is one part of yoga, the jnana yoga, the theory, the self-knowledge yoga. But there are many other types of yoga. So this will be it. The practical about the prices and the registration fees and everything, I'll prefer if we just see it written. And if you need to ask something, of course, you will ask me. What you need to do now is, if you are interested, to send me your email. And if you are not sure yet, you can come to the second meeting next week, where we will do the breathing training. And we will talk a little bit more about pranayama and the breathing techniques that we will learn. And then you can decide after that. So you don't need to do anything now. You don't need to pay. You don't need to decide. You don't need to register. You don't need to tell me I will do it or not. You just need to come to the next lesson and learn how to breathe. And then you can decide if you want to join us or not. And if you need more details, I have everything written on the website, or email me or text me your email and I will send you the information. If you want to ask something now, you can.